What existed when you were a child that doesn't exist now? Smoking sections in restaurants. There are plenty of 16-plus-year-old sit-down in fast food places that have sections that you can tell are the former smoking areas if you actually remember them, monsieur. Blockbuster. And not just Blockbuster. All of the video stores. All the mom and pops trying to make it. We miss you dearly. Hollywood Video. RIP. Edit. RIP. Phones you could slam down on the receiver after a heated conversation. Try that with a $1,000 smartphone. Asterisk laying on the bed twirling the phone cord around your finger when talking to that cute boy from class. Asterisk. Phones with a super long curly cord that would curl in the wrong direction and you drag it as far as you could all the way to your room because you weren't cool enough to have a phone line in your room. Everything everywhere smelling like cigarettes. People. Hospitals. Airplanes. Everyone's houses. The dog, etc. To be fair, just a couple years ago I met a dog who ate cigarette butts off the ground, so I'll bet he smells like cigarettes. I hope he kicked that habit. VHS? I remember we had a rewinder that looked like a car. It didn't play the tapes. Just rewinded them. Monsieur, what a pointless device. It wasn't entirely pointless. Rewinding produced the most wear on your machine. So having another device solely for rewinding the tape dramatically extended the life of your VCR. Source. My brother-in-law was a VCR repairman. 3D Doritos still exist in Mexico. We usually bring back a box when we go visit. Unlimited playtime outside, until the street lights turned on. Kodak cameras that took cartridge film with the square flash bulbs. I remember saving my money to buy the film, the flash, and the cost of developing the film. Monsieur, man, I miss my childhood. 110 film cameras, also disc cameras. Sears. This is the craziest one on here. They could have been Amazon. They already had most of the infrastructure from the catalog. Also, the demise of Craftsman tools hurts because when I was a kid my grandfather had Craftsman tools in. They were close to top of the line at the time. Now they are made of Chinese, monsieur. My hope and dreams. And the MCDLT. Rotary payphone. The sit-in spin. Lounge arts. The metal kind that are illegal now. Memory cards on game consoles. Tube television. Those things were so damn heavy. And the weight was not evenly distributed. 90% was in the front on the glass front. You had to have two people for some. Insane. And they only got up to like 35 inches or something. Yay, the 36 inches ones were like 500 pounds. And our parents were paranoid the Nerf gun would break the glass tube. AOL chat rooms. I remember the days of going to a dating forum labeled Singles in Ethiopia. ASL. Damn it, you got there first. Banana seed bikes. Realistic toy guns. Hey, I was mushroom hunting last week and walking around the woods off the paths and saw a revolver butt sticking out of the dirt. Started digging a bit and unearthed a whole cap gun. Identical size to a .38 special reel gun, haha. Was pot metal though, but used those old red paper strips and pulling the trigger would pull the hammer back and slam against the barrel section, haha. Normal sized and cheap chocolate bars. They're so small and expensive now. Floppy disk. US and Russian intelligence still use these. A fake Tamagotchi. Those were the supreme equivalent in elementary grounds. Frito, monsieur, parents think they have to be up their kids' butts 24/7. We'd talk to strangers, play with stray dogs, and blow shit up with firecrackers, and we all lived well, except for the ones who didn't. Natural selection. They were weak. I had a Tupperware bin full of Victoria's Secret and Venus magazines I would dig out of the recycling bin, buried underground behind a very recognizable log in the woods behind my house when I was a kid. It's been over 15 years at least since I last saw it. It's gotta still be there. That would never happen nowadays. Let your 11-year-old kid run out into the woods whenever they wanted with no supervision. Saturday morning cartoons. I realized that you can now watch cartoons anytime you want. But we looked forward to Saturday mornings back then. I remember the morning when Peter Jennings interrupted Slimer and the real Ghostbusters to tell us that Nelson Mandela had been released from prison. This is a big regional, but where I am there used to be a ton of beaches you could go to. Nowadays you mostly can only go to the ones with the giant parking lots near the seafood restaurants, because people have built giant mansions in private gated communities all along the other access points. The World Trade Center. Dark. I remember going down into the hole once. The PATH train station, you had to go down to ground level. You could see through the chain link fence. It was quiet even with people running around. My grandfather's green ketchup was going to say this. I bought green. My brother bought purple. We had money from his paper route that I helped him with for a cut. I think we each used them once, maybe twice. We agreed that we just couldn't do it again. Smelled like ketchup, tasted like ketchup, looked too wrong to eat. In no particular order: candy, cigarettes, McDonald's ashtrays and McDonald's cookies, mercury thermometers, styrofoam fast food containers, pagers, portable CD players, 45 records and the little yellow thing that snaps into them, laserdisc, rear projection TVs, cap toy guns, and my imagination, mini Jolly Ranchers, miniature Jolly Rancher balls in a tube like mini M&Ms. Every time I tell someone about them, they think I'm making it up. My dad used to have a business fixing answering machines. Those don't even exist, much less a company to service the Monsieur Star Hustler with Jack Horkheimer. My will to live, East Germany and the USSR. Good Star Wars movies. How did I not appreciate the prequels more? And if you aren't a huge fan of the PT, it at least brought about another age of huge EU lore. Freaking creepy as asterisk stuffed death robots, to some known as Furbies. I hear they still creep in the shadows. Teddy Ruxpin's Satanic Pal. CD players. They used to be everywhere, and everyone had a CD collection. Both of those definitely exist. Really? I could've swore every single CD player has suddenly ceased to exist. Nope. Can confirm they're alive and well. PB Crisps. Cassettes or Betamax. 8-track or Laserdisc. The Apollo space program, Monsieur. American chestnut trees. Social rejection of crazy theories that are time-foil hat-worthy. My virginity. Dopamine and serotonin in large quantities. Rotating TV antennas. Corded landline telephones. I mean, I am sure they still exist, but you would be hard-pressed to find one, unless you work in just about any office anywhere. Bag phones. Pagers, cassettes, floppy disks. Mom, Dad, 2 grandmas, 2 grandpas, brother, several aunts and uncles. I'm 68 and they all just died off, damn it. Stretch Armstrong. Jello 1, 2, 3. This stuff was the bomb. Be kind, rewind, slide rules. My dad taught me how to use one, but within a year of him teaching me, calculators were becoming inexpensive. My dad taught me how to use one too. Long after calculators, I took my school exams with one in 2004, which they allowed because having no buttons, we can't consider it a calculator. Mom and pop corner stores where you could walk to and buy a loaf of bread, soft drinks, ice cream, and an assortment of groceries. There was a mom and pop store every couple of blocks in my old neighborhood. I can't imagine growing up with a Monsieur and telephone booths. Yay, we had a few even in the 90s, some still sold penny candy. Children's exercise gyms like Discovery Zone and the Play Place at Chuck E. Cheese. Discovery Zone was probably the dopest place ever when I was a kid. I had my 9th birthday party there. For the uninitiated, it was like a McDonald's play place but 100x bigger. There were endless ball pits, huge foam things to climb on, rock walls, a zip line, massive slides, climbing nets, and you were encouraged to run and fall down. The place I'm talking about didn't have any games to waste money on. It was purely for exercise and playing. I was actually super depressed when it closed. Last I heard, Chuck E. Cheese doesn't even have a play place anymore. Now it's just legal gambling for children. DZ also had that woven rubber band section that if you fell through you ended up in the ball pit. Chuck E. Cheese still sells beer though, haha. That last bit made me think of toddlers sitting at a table trying to outbluff the other kids at blackjack. If I win, I'll get his tokens. My child self. Corded phones with that extra long cord connecting the handset to the phone itself. Do they still sell disposable cameras? Yeah, they had disposable digital cameras a while back. Yes, I sold one at work the other day. It surprised the hell out of me though. I haven't seen one in forever. I live in a fairly suburban area with lots of greens and a river nearby all my life. I realized I haven't seen a dragonfly since elementary about 30 years ago. There used to be so many when we were kids. Not just dragonflies, but insects in general. And due to the green desert that is the modern lawn, you aren't seeing robins anymore either. There's a lot fewer butterflies around. I have noticed a lot fewer bumblebees sadly. And lightning bugs. Dragonfly are much rarer where I live too. You see them sometimes, but they're not several inches long like they used to be. Blockbuster. Sour Altoids. Who thought it was a good idea to stop making those? The acid was eating away at people's teeth. My sanity. Surge. Surge was resurrected 2 or 3 years ago. I can get them at my local gas station. Really? I haven't seen it around, but next time I order groceries I'll definitely search for it. They stock it in Dollar Tree. Got one a month ago for the heck of it. I don't even remember what they taste like tbh. Was it any good? I wanna say it was similar to Mountain Dew. I was probably in middle school the last time I had one. It was okay. Not a big soda drinker, tbh. Haven't had a MD in about 30 years. Common sense. Yep. It's not so common anymore. My dad. A lot of aquatic life in streams. Can I just say Yogos? Kellogg's made a masterpiece that disappeared out of existence so quickly that for years I thought I hallucinated the Monsieur Best after-school snack grade school had to offer. Ashtrays in cars. Most you can still order a smoker's package. Also ashtrays in the armrests of commercial jets back when smoking was still allowed. Viennetta ice cream. Monsieur, if you're a dude, marry me. I'm a dude, let's have a Viennetta wedding cake. Haha, that would be epic. It's on. My supermarket still sells these. Discovery Zone. Yay, the jungle gym made up of leftover industrial equipment. That ball bearing roller slide. X-package ramp. Sucked ass to ride down, haha. Vacuum tube testers in drug and hardware stores for your TV and stereo. Stick a suspected vacuum tube in the right socket and it lets you know if it still works. They had all the new box tubes organized on the side. Wouldn't mind this now. I got an ancient tape recorder that needs repair, but I don't know which valve has gone. I'm no audiophile, but hearing music from those old radios sounds very different to me. My sense of wonder. Now everything has an explanation, and even if not, I can Google it in 10 seconds. Chivalry. Prizes in cereal boxes. Will to live. Pluto the planet. That makes me feel so old. Cinnamon toothpicks. Saturday morning cartoons. Now you can just Netflix whenever you want. But when I was a kid, we waited all week for Saturday morning cartoons. We'd sneak downstairs so we didn't wake the parents and watch cartoons with all the toy commercials mixed in and eat cereal. It was the best. Stereo systems. People used to have a giant setup with a receiver module, cassette deck, preamp, amp, and a pair of giant floor-standing speakers. It would cost a few $1,000s and be housed in a dedicated cabinet. And if you touched your dad's, you were dead meat. My will to fucking live. Day's TV schedule in the newspaper. Single-player games. Split-screen games. 3D Doritos. Shit was gross and I loved them, monsieur. EA Planters cheese balls tasted so much better years ago. They recently bought back the cans of them and they suck ass, as expensive as shit, like $3 a can. Shit was like 89 cents. Oh my goodness, yes. I remember how excited we were a few months back when we saw them in the store again. Old packaging and everything. They weren't the same at all. And yes, so much pricier. I bet it has to do with Obama banning hydrogenated oils. Our local made chips used to be good, now they taste totally different and meh. Thanks Obama. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.